Hey yo, hey yo, hey yo, how you doing, guys? It's me, the one AJ Anthony Jordan, representing 1/5 of them boys. So you know what that means? We're here. And why are we here? Because I was down at the Electric Ballroom for chapter 171, where history was written by the victors. That's right. Progress Wrestling chapter 171. History is written by the victors is now in the books. Now, guys, some of you will be like, this was a few weeks ago. Why is it happening? Because we go to a show, we go to another show, we try to review a show. However, what happens in between that? We've also got work. So bear with us, but you will always be getting a review from the Ministry of Wrestling if we go to a show. So look out, because there are quite a few out there, as well as our prediction shows. Now, anyway, let's not waste any time. And let's kick off with the first match of the day, which was Gene Money and Ozawa versus Lycos Gym, Lycos 1 and Lycos 2. Now, guys, this was a perfect match to start off with. Now, as you all know, if you've been following the Progress journey, Kid Lycos is the former world's champion. He's had a few losses recently. He lost the title to Luke Jacobs, who we'll be talking about later on. And then he had a rematch where, unfortunately, he still was not able to regain the title he once held. So it was good to see Lycos Gym back together. And you know what? Gene Money is that person who's always going to welcome the crowd and warm up the crowd perfectly. Currently a heel. If you've seen Gene most places, he is a face, but he is a heel down here in Progress at the moment. Turned alliances recently, and recently has his son with him. Yes, his son Ozawa. Let's not talk about age difference. Let's not talk about any other differences you may realize there. That is his legitimate son. And the crowd did not seem to believe that. However, it was referred to many a time, both by Gene and Ozawa. And the match was there. Now, what I loved about this match, there is great talent from all four of these guys, but the comedy element is also in there. Solid back and forth goes through. Gene tags in Ozawa. Ozawa's cleaning house. Lycos Gym get the upper hand. Ozawa's going for the pin. Not the pin. He's going for the tag. Gene grabs the mic and says, "You are not my son." Where that came from, we don't know. He says it would be an embarrassment for Ozawa to. Anyway, it's too clean. Some kids may be watching this. I'm not going to say what happens, but if you know your biology, you know what he's saying. It could not have happened. So Gene walks out. Lycos Gym are now on a 2-1. Get the victory over Ozawa, as you would imagine. We've got a former champ and an awesome tag team in place there. What's great about this? So Lycos Gym, or mainly Lycos 1, may not be in the title running anymore. However, Lycos Gym may be in the running for a tag team title, because it's good to see those guys back together. And I'm very interested to see what happens next between Ozawa and the villainous dog that is Gene Money. Up next, we had the women of Ali Catch versus Lizzie Evo. Now, this is the first time I've seen Ali perform. However, I have heard great stuff. And I had my good man, Harry from Wrestling Life UK podcast, shout out to them, check them out if you haven't already, saying to me, you are in for a treat. And Lizzie, I know what to expect with Lizzie. I've seen her numerous times in the ballroom, thanks to Progress. And this was a great match. And again, the comedy element is very much in place there. I'm aware that Ali and Effie have this tag team that previously were at a Progress show that I missed, but it was all fun and games. So again, you've got two great performers in the ring with a nice bit of comedy, but in the end, Lizzie ended up taking the victory. And yeah, it's interesting to see what comes next there. Up next, the women's action continued in an awesome triple threat match for the Women's Defy Championship. Yes, this match was between Kanji, Defy Women's Champion, the Problem Marina Shafir, who I happen to have met for it at the meet and greet, and the star of the Nina Samuels show, Nina Samuels. If you've been following Progress, you know there is beef between Kanji and Nina Samuels that has been escalating for a while. Both the title, when I say both the titles, the Progress Women's title feud has been between them, both interfering in each other's matches. There was involved in an awesome ladder match over it. There's been a lot of tension between them. And now you bring in the problem. There was more than one problem happening in this match. Now, I can say I have seen many a triple threat in my time, and this one did not disappoint. The back and forth between Kanji and Marina, the back and forth between Marina and Nina, the back and forth between Nina and Kanji, all three of these elements that happened, you get one out of the ring, you had solid one-on-one actions, then you had great triple threat action between them. It really, really looks interesting. And what I love, you weren't sure who was going to get the victory. As much as we know Marina's the international star, it's her first time overseas out of North America performing, and her first time defending the Defy Women's title outside of North America. You had to wonder, could it be at that moment? It looked so much like Kanji was going to get it. It looked like Nina was going to have it at some points, but in the end, the lady from the Four Horsewomen of the UFC, the first lady of the BCC, and the current Defy Women's Champion retained and walked out, and just solid match. I would really encourage anyone to check it out. One of the best triple threat matches you can see. However, what came next, I believe, is one of my contenders for match of the day, evening, night, whatever you want to call it. We are talking the Progress Wrestling Tag Team title match, where Sanity took on the Smoking Aces in a street fight. This match went all over the ballroom. It even went in the photo booth. Big shout out to my boy Tracksuit Dan, who was able to pay for a picture while they were in the photo booth. This went everywhere. We saw trolleys, we saw kendo sticks, we saw tables. Some parts didn't see something because we were at other parts of the venue. It went everywhere. The damage these guys put themselves through was insane. It was intense. And it is, as I said, most definitely a contender for match of the day. You can't discount the quality of this match. It had everything, and it looked like Sanity had it in the bag. Then it looked like the Aces had it in the bag. Then it looked like Sanity had it in the bag. People went through tables, people went through chairs, and I'm not talking just a chair. I'm talking through the row of chairs. Me, Harry, everyone in our row and our section had to move out. Axel Teacher went through this awesome clothesline on our end and took out one of the Smoking Aces. Wow, Damo done it just on the other side. It was absolutely insane. And when it looked like the Aces had the upper hand, do you know what happened? Good old Chuck Mambo of Sunshine Machine came out to assist. However, in his attempt to make an assist, he hit Damo and it cost Sanity the tag team titles. And yes, the Smoking Aces are once again your Progress Tag Team Wrestling Champions. Guys, awesome match. It just had everybody at the absolute edge of their seat. There was nothing left to say, and you know what? That was the perfect time for an intermission because everyone just had to readjust. It was one of the matches that you have to see. I cannot recommend this enough. Look, guys, there's no endorsement here. There is no paid promotion in any way here. I will just say to you, head on over to the Progress website, click onto their on-demand service, and review this pay-per-view. I'm going to continue through it because there are so many solid matches, but what a way to close the first half. That was definitely main event status. So well done to both teams there and to everyone in the first half of the show, honestly, because that was awesome. That was awesome. Okay, we then continue and we go into the women's Progress title match. And this is where we had one of my favorites who I've seen at Progress, Rio, taking on Emerson Jane. Again, as I said, for the title. Again, another contender of the night match. This solid back and forth. And what is good is both of these ladies are faces. So you would think that you would get this stalemate. I find when you get face versus face or two faces and a heel, or you kind of like a heel, the crowd don't know how to react. We got the reaction. It started off where people were a bit mixed and it just went into a solid match. You've got two solid performers and they've got this friendship between them, which we all know about. And it just went on solid back and forth, unpredictable as ever. You some matches you feel like you know who the winner's going to be. And at first I felt like I knew. I was like, yeah, it's Rio. Then the way Emerson performed, you're like, do we have a new champion? Is this the moment of a new champion? However, it wasn't. It wasn't. Rio was able to retain in a great match, and what I loved was the friendship between them. It continued. They, held each other's hands up, and Rio was holding the title, and then it got spoiled. Why? Because Lizzie made a return to the ring and put a beat down on both of them. So look, there's two sides this can go. It's either Lizzie versus Emerson in a quest for a bit of revenge, or more importantly, it's Lizzie versus Rio for the Progress women's title. Either way, I'm excited to see what comes next. And I know Progress will not disappoint in whichever way they deliver this. Right, the next match, this was the match I was most anticipated for. It was the Proteus Championship match. Yes, we are talking Robbo, the man that is Paul Robinson, versus the contender that is Connor Mills. Now, with this title match, it was, from what I understand about the Proteus Championship, it's my first time seeing it, the champion is allowed to call their stipulation in it. However, I've also been told that it's a submission or knockout match. Either way, I'm a Connor Mills man. Can't invite my train, and yeah, you get what I'm going at. I'm all down for Mills, and I was expecting because guys, I'm going to put this out there to all promotions that book Connor Mills. It is time to put some gold around that man's waist. It is time to put some gold around that man's waist. So this is what I was waiting for. Kind of came out, got my fist bump. I was quite happy with that. And then out came Robbo, and the match went on. Now, you got to remember, this match has no pins, guys. This match has no pins, and these guys were stiff as hell. They battered each other. They put all these different locks in. They tried all that they could to put each other out, attempted submissions and batterings to really put a man down. And ultimately, as much as I wanted it to go one way, it went the other way. Paul Robinson is still your Proteus champion. Did he make Connor tap? No. Connor just couldn't go any further. So that was the way that went. And yeah, we are still at a point where Connor Mills is not holding any gold, but I'm hopeful that day will come soon. Hopefully, it might even be bigger gold. No offense to the Proteus Championship when I say that, but there was some big stuff ahead for Connor Mills, and this match definitely showed that. He may not be a champion right now, but his time is most definitely coming. Okay, guys, I've talked about matches of the night and stuff like that. What comes next is a very, very solid match. Would it be my contender for match of the night? Possibly, but it is definitely the winner of moment of the night, because anyone who's followed the Progress Wrestling journey will be familiar with one very big star within the Progress Wrestling alumni. This star was, I don't want to say faded, that would not be the word, but this star was no longer able to compete, and it looked like this star would no longer be able to compete anywhere. And this star made a return at the previous Progress show at the very end, showing and putting themselves out there as a potential contender for Luke Jacobs' title. This star has risen once again. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I am talking about this return of the Black Swan. Cara Noir made his triumphant return to Progress Wrestling and took on Yoshiki Inamura. Before the match even started, the fans were slapping the ring. We were all there tapping the ring. We were all saying welcome back. The emotion in that moment was too much to take in. And I'm also gonna just highlight the moments that are there. It's just you can't believe what that meant for anyone. It was unreal. Absolutely unreal. I'm going to quote my good friend Matt, who used to be of Wrestling Should Be Fun, a podcast that I have now come to an end, but great podcast. Go and check out their previous content, guys. I was speaking to Matt at another show, and he said to me that he wouldn't be able to make Progress because he was away. However, what I'm going to be in store for is an absolute treat, because Cara Noir is one of those moments I've never seen Cara perform before. And yeah, shout out to you, Matt. You are absolutely bang on point. The entrance alone is something to take your breath away, but the in-ring skill, it matches the aura of the entrances. A very, very good match between these two. It's one of those that you on a grand return such as this, you kind of predict a victory. Let's not play anything. However, I had my doubts. Let's not take anything from Yoshiki Inamura, an amazing talent who I've seen perform across the globe. Not traveled across the globe to see him perform, but seen him perform in different promotions and companies all over the world. And I've never been unimpressed by Inamura, you know, and this match was one of those, but I was majorly impressed by Cara Noir, and Cara ultimately picked up the victory, and it was a great welcome back victory, and I cannot wait to see what is next for Cara Noir. In fact, I can't wait, but I do know what is next, because it has been announced that at the next Progress show, for chapter 172, it is Cara Noir versus Kenta for the Defy Heavyweight Championship. So, guys, if you haven't got your ticket, get your ticket real soon, because that is going to be a match. It is going to be a match, and I recommend everybody take their chance to go and see that in person, because yes, you can watch it on demand. It will be something to see live. Right, before I get into the next match, I need to highlight that after Robbo made his was able to knock out Connor Mills, we did have Simon Miller turn up, who has had a bit of a beef with Robbo recently, and that is the next contender for the Proteus match. So yes, guys, for the Proteus title. So do look out for it. Simon Miller versus Paul Robinson. That is also another match to look out for, guys. Okay, Up next, we had a scheduled match which had a bit of a turn because of travel issues. So the intended match was meant to be Tate Mayfairs versus Juan Cool Manders, an international star both of Defy and CZW. However, Manders did indeed have travel issues and was not able to make it. So then came out Mike Bird, someone I'm not too familiar with. However, I'm aware is a trainer within a trainer within the Elements of Progress and their training school, but a very, very, very good replacement that came in and just really done his bit, actually. Tate, if you've been following, has just come off of a feud with Eddie Dennis. And it looked like Eddie said to him, look, as much as you've been that guy, I know the real version of you. So all of this arrogance behind the curtain, you're a great guy. And we actually saw a bit of that because in this match where it got to a bit of back and forth, Tate went down to a lower turnbuckle and pulled up the knucks, and he was about to use them. And he put them down. He threw them aside. He continued the match, and he still ultimately got the victory. So congratulations to Tate Mayfairs. And it was an interesting side to Mayfairs that showed us that, you know what, maybe Mayfairs isn't what people have known him to be. And it's not a banker and it's not an anchor, but you can guess where we're going with that. So congratulations to Tate Mayfairs. And more importantly, congratulations to Mike Bird, who stepped up at the last minute and gave a very, very solid match. Okay, guys, now it's time to talk the main event. Yes, we are talking the Progress champion, the biggest name in UK wrestling right now, Luke Jacobs, versus an icon in the history of UK wrestling, Eddie Dennis. Now, at the last Progress show, it was mentioned. A few people came out, but Eddie stepped up, and Eddie's put his reasons out there. Man like Darius, you've got opportunities ahead of you. You've got a decade ahead of you. Leon Slater, you probably got a decade and more ahead of you. This is my time. This is my time. If I can't do it now, I may not ever be worthy for another Progress wrestling title shot. And you know what? On the other side, Jacobs was like, yeah, you've done your bit. I have a lot of respect for you. Excuse me, pulling my hair back. However, this is my time, and I'm going to show you that, and I'm going to put you back on the shelf. And this match was everything the advertising for it promised to be. People gave their all. The fans are cheering for it. And, you know, Jacobs is a heel. Jacobs is absolutely disgusting and vile for the actions that he's done down at Progress. But you can't help but cheer the talent. You still can't help but cheer the talent. And everyone is split at this moment. The cheers are going both ways, but you really want to see this for Eddie. You really want this to be Eddie's moment. And it's gone through. It's gone into a solid, multiple opportunities that look like it's Eddie's time. Then guess who comes down? The man I just mentioned from the previous match, Tate Mayfairs. And you're like, oh, which way does this go? Which way does this go? And you know what? Tate is on Eddie's side. He's cheering him. He's backing him. There's a point where the referee gets knocked out. Tate comes in, gives a good old swift kick to Luke Jacobs, and it looks like it's Eddie's moment. It doesn't happen. Luke Jacobs is able to kick out. He's proven to us why he is Northwest strong. He goes on. But battling goes down. And then this moment happens where he gets the upper hand. He's battering. I don't want to say that lightly because it's not easy to batter Eddie Dennis, but he's putting the beat down onto Eddie Dennis. And he's got him where his head is over his foot is over Eddie's head, and he's got both arms there, and it's one of those stomps. I'm not too sure the correct move, and he's there. He's looking at Tate, and he's like, "I'll do it. And it's at that point that Tate just the fans are begging him not to. At one point, I should have said it. He came out with a towel. It looked like he was going to throw the towel in. When Eddie was about to tap, Eddie got to the rope. Eddie broke out. It continued, and now Jacobs is literally holding Eddie Dennis hostage right now. He's looking at Mayfield. He's like, if you don't throw the towel in, I will hurt your boy. I will put him out of commission. And literally, everyone's screaming, Tate, don't do it. Tate, don't do it. He takes the towel, he throws it in. So Eddie Dennis loses by towel throwing. I don't think that's going to cause any tension between the two. I can understand where Tate was coming from, but in the same breath, I think Eddie might have, who knows? We don't know which way it would have gone. Sadly, as Eddie is declared the loser through Tate throwing in the towel, guess what? Luke Jacobs still goes for the stomp, and it's there. And once again, that's the deviousness that we talk about for Luke Jacobs. But more importantly, it closed the show. And guys, from match 1 to match 9, all I can tell you is it was an absolute solid show. There was nothing to left for anyone to give. Every match, every performer gave their own. And you know what? history was definitely written by the victors at this show. So, guys, again, the Werewolves of London is coming to Progress and the Electric Ballroom this month. If you do have the opportunity to be available, I would recommend you take your chance to go there and see it live. I'm hoping to be there. However, for this, all I will say is if I won't be seeing it, I'll be watching it on demand. And again, I stress, this is not a paid endorsement. The ministry have not been paid, nor are we affiliated strongly in any way. We're just great fans of Progress Wrestling. So when I say we're not affiliated strongly, yes, I say hello to the owner. Yes, I say hello to the producer. That's where it ends. This is a solid show that I would recommend absolutely any wrestling fan to check out. Definitely a UK wrestling fan, because if you know your UK wrestling, you'll recognize the names. If you are watching this from somewhere else around the globe, you know what? Check it out and see what the UK can do. There is some great talent there, and it was all on display. So I recommend everyone doing it. And there's some international stars there as well. We've got Azawa, we've got Marina Shafir, we've got Ali Catch, we've got Inamura. There were some great talents from across the globe there as well, and Axel Teacher as well from Germany. So you've got everything. You've got a bit of Europe, you've got a bit of America, you've got a bit of Japan there. Check it out. That's all I'm going to say to you. So until the next time, guys, please, if you like this, give it a thumbs up, comment below, and subscribe. Ring the notification bell. Let us hear from you. Again, check under there. You can see it. Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, at Ministry of Wrestling, and at MOW News on X, formerly Twitter. Because you know what? You like wrestling, we like wrestling, so let's talk wrestling. Until the next time, guys, I am the one AJ Anthony Jordan, and I am signing out.